we people have taken an initiative, right, to let's open Bihar and Jharkhand because the gross enrollment ratio we people have seen in the region of Bihar and Jharkhand is too less. People are not going to take admissions, and the students who are studying outside, they people are not being that much sincere, and that's the main reason they people are not coming to our state, Bihar and Jharkhand, right? So welcome to Collegedunia, sir. You people are going to take ask some of the questions from you, the learning you have get from your career, the experience you have felt from the past 5 decades in the teaching industry, right? So, what is your opinion on this?
See, first of all, my background is I have gone to IIT to do my BTech, and after that I have done MBA from NITI in Mumbai.
Right.
I worked in industry for 27 years. I worked in reputed companies like HCL Technologies. I worked with GMR Group, the one that manages the airports in Delhi and Hyderabad. And I also worked, in companies like CN, who is into the CATIA. And after 27 years of working in the industry, at that point of time, I was recruiting a lot of youngsters and experienced people. And one thing what I noticed was, while they are all qualified, but when it comes to their level of competence and job readiness, it is missing. And typically the selection ratios are very, very small. You you interview maybe 100 people are conducted test for 100, only 10 people will get selected in the test, and out of the 10 that you interview, only one gets selected or two get selected. When I saw that, I noticed that yes, I think there is a need to improve the quality of education in India. So that was the kind of a passion with which I moved into the education. So I am not a hardcore academician right from the beginning of my career, and I have been an industry man. And after 27 years, I thought that I think we need to do something to improve the quality of education, so that all these kind of we talk of the demographic dividend. The demographic dividend can yield results to the country only when you are making them employable, and they must get employed, and then after that the kind of a GDP will go. I think that is the kind of a mission with which I have joined the academy. And I have joined in ICFAI group 18 years back, and my stint, I have set up some business schools for the ICFAI group. I also set up an applied research and consulting unit, and I have been the vice chancellor of ICFAI University, Jharkhand. I am so fortunate that in fact, with the Jharkhand, Bihar, and all that belt, I am able to understand what it is and what can be done there. So, yeah. So coming to your the point with regard to yes, students they are not studying locally, going out.
Right.
So that there are two reasons. One reason is traditionally, because I have traveled across Bihar, Jharkhand, Eastern UP, and I have gone up to the southern part of even the West Bengal and also Chhattisgarh. So typically, the most of the kind of reputed institutions in the education, they have been, essentially they have been into the south, west, and north. There are so many of them, they did not, venture into the east, for a long, long time. And the second thing has been that, if you notice, whether, you take Bihar or Jharkhand particularly, up to school level, the education is good. A lot of missionary schools are there. You take something like St. Xavier's and, the various missionary schools that are there, they are all very well known. But when it comes to the degree education, that is when, traditionally the feeling was, yes, locally we will not get a good quality education. The second issue has been that, the socio-economic kind of a background there is, discipline was lacking. So because of that, a lot of parents thought that, हमारे बच्चों को बाहर भेजने से बेहतर होती है, rather than studying them there into that. The third aspect has been, with regard to the industry. Typically, if you see the entire eastern belt, if you leave aside West Bengal, most of them, it has been mining, it has been, steel, and it has been aluminum. Otherwise, of course, if you look at Jamshedpur, is in kind of, say, small pocket, where the manufacturing is there. But otherwise, typically, they are all, public sector. And, the IT industry has not taken off that well there. That has been a big employer in the last few years. And so on so forth with the other service industries. These are the three reasons I have noticed, why the most of the students and also parents, want them to go out. But the things have changed in the last few years. Particularly, I have been seeing Jharkhand for the last 9 years, like from 2000, towards the end of 2011 onwards, I have been traveling there. I have gone into the interiors of the Jharkhand, going to practically all the districts also. One thing that has happened, in particularly in Jharkhand, like a lot of private universities have come. Of course, nobody can say that all of them are equally good, but definitely the quality of education locally has improved a lot. In fact, our own ICFAI group, we have come in there. We were one of the first, possibly, after the XISS and St. Xavier's, and apart from them, we are the first kind of a pan-India group, to come into Jharkhand, because our mission was, we want to take quality education to the states and regions, where that access to quality was lacking earlier. So what we call it as the underserviced kind of areas, we thought we would go there. We do understand the challenges involved into that, but at the same time we ventured there. And apart from us, some more private universities have come. And now the quality of education in Jharkhand, for the higher education, it has improved a lot in the last few years. With the result, we see more and more students taking admissions there locally, which wasn't the case 10 years back. And the second thing is, talking of the law and order situation, and both in Bihar and Jharkhand, I have seen a perceptible kind of difference in terms of the law and order situation. And things are very good. It's as good as any other place. And because of that, the parents also are a lot more comfortable. ठीक है, इधर भी पढ़ा सकते हैं. And also it is cheaper. The third one is, as far the industry is concerned, particularly the Jharkhand government has taken various initiatives, and with the result, sort of more and more industries coming. And every after the Jharkhand got sort of panned out, lots of initiatives are being taken, and with the result, the job opportunities are also improving. Of course, it may not be at the same level as in the west or south and north, but it is improving. So because of that, the students definitely, I think, they are more and more inclined to study there. These are my views on this.
Right. So, what are the key factors what are your leadership factors that associated you with the organization in the education from past decades?
So, essentially, as I mentioned, one has been, my passion. Because passion, जुनून बोलते हैं ना, जुनून तो अलग चीज होते हैं.
Right.
Career, job, sort of, इसके बजाय जब वो passion होते हैं, passion it's not for the sake of money. It's internally I feel that yes, I should do something, and particularly Jharkhand, I found it's a great opportunity for me, because when things are very good, you can make only incremental changes. लेकिन जब sort of माहौल तो इतना ज्यादा बेहतर नहीं होते हैं, then in that case इसको बेहतर करना है तो that's a good challenge, and there's a lot of satisfaction. I think that is the reason why I have been associated. I continue to be associated, and I'm very, very glad. Sort of now when I'm treated as a Jharkhandi, when I go to so many places, they say, "Sir, आप इतने दूर-दूर से आके इधर हमको पढ़ा रहे हैं," and so many people they are thanked and they just fall on the feet. So that way, I'm really touched with whatever happens there in Jharkhand. I really love that place. That they are all bhala, very simple people. They are very hardworking people. So then, talking with regard to as far as the kind of a leadership and philosophy of leadership is concerned. So ours is a university where we are offering programs in diverse disciplines. We offer programs in management, engineering, IT, and law. So the faculty members that we have got, they are all highly qualified, and experience. They got experience not only in the academics but also in the industry. That is where ICFAI group, we are different from so many of the other groups, because we believe that for the professional programs we need to have the industry experienced people, so that they understand, the industry situation, and impart the kind of skills into them. So all of them, I respect them for their knowledge and experience. At the same time, what I believe is all of us as a team, we are all, accountable to provide quality education to our students, and we should groom them into successful professionals. Sort of, हम तो कोई बहाना नहीं ले सकते हैं. We can't say that student is not good. We can't say that, because
Right. We have to make them good.
because that is important. Because
Yes.
when the raw material is very good, what is the valuation that happens? In fact, as a matter of fact, no offense meant to the institutions like IITs and IIMs. That of, I have gone to IIT. In IITs and IIMs में क्या होते हैं? The quality of the raw material is excellent. So there, of course, maybe when it is very good, you make them better. But places like kind of markets like us, the quality of the raw material is not all that good. I'm not complaining at all, but as a kind of an institution, it is our commitment to see that this raw material is groomed and converted into a very good product, comparable with the best of the institutions, and we need to groom them into successful professionals by imparting the knowledge and also imparting skills, and see that they are all on their own feet into that. Then the second thing what I sort of feel as a university what we need to do when compared with the degree colleges is we need to produce intellectual output in terms of the quality research, because we are not a coaching center, we are not just a college. Sort of, as a university, we have to do quality research. We have to take up the problems which are relevant to the my state, relevant to kind of country, and address the problems rather than just doling out PhD degrees. Sort of, this is something that we take it seriously and make it happen. So in order to make this happen, like what I do as a vice chancellor, sort of, I set a kind of a direction in terms of what is the vision and what is the mission and what should be the strategy for doing that, and set up good processes, ambience for that into that to achieve the result. Then after that, I give the individuals the freedom and empower the individual faculty members on how to achieve that. We have periodic review meetings, and we have got meetings, starting with every week we have got meetings, every month we have got meetings, quarter we have got meetings, and the good performers are recognized by way of awards of excellence. Last week we had the Teachers' Day. On that day, we had given awards of excellence to our teachers. We had given the award of excellence for the excellent research output for the teaching. Similarly, for the institution building, social service, a lot of kind of awards we have given. But at the same time, when somebody is not all that good, we can't simply say that ठीक ना इसको तो फेंक दो, हटा दो, वो नहीं कर सकते हैं. Because what we do is, such of these kind of a so-called maybe the average kind of a faculty members, we need to groom them, we need to counsel them, and we need to facilitate, and seeing that ultimately, they also become very good performers. In fact, that is where, as a university, we have got the record. On one hand, we are able to groom even average students into successful professionals. Similarly, we also have got they joined us as an average faculty member. इसके बावजूद we were able to sort of convert them. It has not happened one day. Over a period of time, we were able to convert them into very competent and very good faculty members. Sort of because of that, our attrition is also very low with regard to the faculty members. Sort of, we don't do the kind of a hiring, firing into that. When once they come, ज़्यादा हमारे faculty members होते हैं, local होते हैं. Because what we believe is, we have set up the university there to cater to our, the students, particularly coming from the eastern region, more so from Bihar, Jharkhand. We believe Bihar, Jharkhand is, one kind of a uniform territory. States अलग होते हैं, but otherwise, like माहौल तो वही होते हैं, culture वही होते हैं. Sort of, they are all having this into that. Sort of, typically our target market is, the Jharkhand, Bihar, Eastern UP, and on the other hand, something like, maybe kind of we could say something like, southern part of Odisha, a little bit of Chhattisgarh, and southern part of, West Bengal into that. Sort of, that is what we into that. typically, I should say something like, around 2/3 of our faculty members are, the locals. When I say locals, they come from that region, Bihar, Jharkhand, Eastern UP into that. We also get a 1/3 from the kind of rest of the country. But all these people, we are able to groom them and make them into that. It is because of, our kind of the style of leadership that, yes, we want to groom and make sure that all of them are successful. I think sort of that is what we do. That is my sort of a style of working into that. And the second thing what I do is, like I'm easily accessible, because typically if you just look at the typical universities, mostly if you look at the government universities, the vice chancellor is, he sits in his chambers, and you have to go through the pay sheet if somebody has to
Right.
yeah, whether it is student or whether it is faculty members. मेरे एक sort of, मेरे ऑफिस में ऐसे नहीं होते हैं. I got an open office, whether a student or a faculty, anybody can walk in. And why say he, anybody, anytime can call me. Like जैसे आप कॉल किए थे, and I don't say no, because all the calls come to me directly. It's not that, lot of vice chancellors, typically what happens is, इसका पर्सनल मोबाइल नंबर अलग होते हैं, ऑफिस मोबाइल नंबर अलग होते हैं. आपको go through the kind of PA or personal assistant.
When I called you, the energy I saw in you, right? It was very eager. I'm very keen that I'm sitting in front of you. I'm taking an interview of you. I am learning a lot from you. Ki the way you are into this education system, you have did your engineering from IIT Madras in the year of 1969, right?
72 में किया.
Yeah, 72. So that's a very long journey. At that time, education system was not that much good. Today, the decade has changed. The 5 decades have changed, and the education what is today is very different from it was in your time, right?
Absolutely.
Right.
Students are very comfortable. See, sometimes, some of the vice chancellors, maybe head of the department can go and meet them, but, faculty cannot meet them. बच्चे लोग, नहीं मिल सकते हैं. More than 99% I can tell you that, they say, there is a kind of a security cordon that is there, and vice chancellor का अलग, office होते हैं. No student can go anywhere near that. And let me tell you that, initially when I went to Bihar, Jharkhand, yes, थोड़ा माहौल तो थोड़ा सा अलग था. And, थोड़ा गड़बड़ होते रहते थे in those days into that. But I faced it squarely. I'm very bold. And, so much so that, because those days what used to happen was, to be honest with you, maybe, some of the students that we used to get also used to be that kind of a thing into that, थोड़ा छोटे मोटे सड़क चीजों को भी थोड़ा गड़बड़ करते थे. Then I used to face them squarely. चलो सड़क हम discuss करेंगे. That is when they found a difference. They said, like they did not go through various layers. इनका जो प्रॉब्लम है मैं समझ सकता था, उसको तो सुलझ सकता था. And नहीं सुलझ पाएगा तो आई यूज्ड टू टेल देम, अरे थोड़ा समय लेगा, ये कर देंगे टू दैट. एंड मान लीजिए इन द काइंड ऑफ ए फर्स्ट मीटिंग आई हैड विद स्टूडेंट्स, जो बच्चे गड़बड़ किए थे, दे केम टू मी इमीडिएटली आफ्टर दैट, सेइंग दैट सर हमको माफ कीजिए, सर ऑफ हम तो ऐसे चीज हम बाद में नहीं करेंगे. आई एम टेलिंग यू, आई हैव गॉन थ्रू दैट बिकॉज आई डू अंडरस्टैंड, इट्स नॉट दैट आई एम स्केर्ड ऑफ काइंड ऑफ फेसिंग द स्टूडेंट. ज्यादा वाइस चांसलर्स डर जाते हैं बच्चों को फेस करने में, बच्चों को मुकाबला करने में डरते हैं. आई एम नॉट अफ्रेड एट ऑल इनटू दैट. बच्चे लोग दे नो, अरे ही इज ए वाइस चांसलर एंड इन फैक्ट maybe he can face the students. And in fact, there was in the initial day when I went, that time there was some, see that time in Bihar, Jharkhand, in the initial days, the problems used to be among the students also. So बीच में आपस में कुछ problem होता था into that, sort of, there, so that is something that, yes, even though it's not part of my job, we used to get into that and address that. And let me tell you, when once I joined, within a few months, we have restored a level of discipline, values, and dedication. जब बच्चे लोग को सड़क पे पता चलती है कि अरे ये सभी चीजें नहीं कर सकते हैं इधर, तो then and that they fall in line into that. Why say जब पेरेंट्स को पता चल गया तो बच्चे लोग सारे चलो into that. And जब अटेंडेंस नहीं होता है सड़क पे, we used to send SMS to the this thing पेरेंट्स से बात करते थे, बच्चे लोग भाग के आते हैं, सर क्या हो गया सर, हमारा पापा हमको सड़क हमको सड़क मारपीट हो रहा है, हमको सड़क that kind of a thing, when they came, let me tell you, it's a dramatic change what he brought the Mahal into that. And people were surprised. Arey, when so many other places, in fact, उधर अखबार में अब देखे तो when you go and see, we kind of come and see the अखबार, हर दिन होते हैं, इसको तो मारपीट हो गया, इसको तो टीचर को हुआ था, फिर वाइस चांसलर को हुआ था, हमारे यूनिवर्सिटी में नहीं होते हैं. We are in island of kind of a discipline where there is a commitment of students that they know ये चीज हम नहीं कर सकते हैं. I think that is the kind of a माहौल we change. Same is the case with the faculty members. इसके पहले क्या होता था, before I went there, like in fact हमारे faculty लोग भी डरते थे बच्चों को देख, अरे क्या होगा इनको. Now they are not worried at all, And what we built was, the kind of, the जो kind of माहौल हम तो build up किए थे, sort of it's a very kind of a cordial, a cooperative, and we are there, to give you quality education. And हम किसके वास्ते दे रहे सभी चीज, आपके वास्ते, मेरे वास्ते नहीं है. I think that kind of a realization has come in the students into that. Sort of a गुणवत्ता, sort of शिक्षा हम देते हैं बच्चों को. जब बढ़िया हम तो प्लेसमेंट्स हम दिलाते हैं, इंडस्ट्री वाले आपको sort of फैकल्टी को ये क्लासेस लेते हैं, बड़े बड़े प्रोग्राम बनाते हैं. When they see that are एक बड़े चीज into that, I think that is kind of a this thing into that. Let me tell you, I think that is what, if we do that in any university, इसको तो माहौल तो एकदम बदल जाएगा into that. So,
Right. So
that is, in fact, I can keep talking like that, hours, but I'm really passionate. I'm really proud that it is thanks to the cooperation from our own faculty members and our non-teaching staff and students and parents, we were able to do that. So that, yeah. And बच्चे लोग, there are बच्चे लोग मुझे sort of रात में भी कुछ मेल भेजते थे, because during the COVID-19 times, sort of कभी कभी जो परेशानी होते हैं ना, they send a mail, some of them are their own personal reason to that, counsel them, talk to them to that, So because of that, like that kind of, as a vice chancellor, I need to have a connect with my kind of the employees, a connect with the kind of ground reality, connect with our students. That is the most important thing. I'm not saying the problems are not there, problems होते रहते हैं, but जब तक वो तो कनेक्ट होते हैं ना, वो डायरेक्ट कनेक्ट होते हैं ना, then that case, but as such, I do understand the problems, I do understand the kind of situation with the student. इसको कैसे हम तो सुलझ सकते हैं? But that is what comes. Otherwise, I have to hear from somebody else. जब बच्चों का प्रॉब्लम और कोई मुझसे हम तो सुनना पड़ेगा, इसमें क्या होते हैं? डिस्ट्रैक्शन हो जाते हैं, कलरिंग हो जाते हैं. But when I know that myself directly into that, and इसी के वजह से I am able to build a responsive university. माने सड़क बच्चे लोगों को सड़क शिकायत करने की जरूरत नहीं है. When our staff and faculty know that अरे एक सड़क हमारे वाइस चांसलर के पास गया था and ऐसा सड़क मिल गया, they know they are careful, and after that they deal very nicely with the student. They have to. पर जब तक वो नहीं होते हैं, then in that case what happens is we have to build an organization where the entire organization has to be responsive to the students' needs, students' concerns. That is what has to be done. I think that is something that we are able to do that not only with our faculty members, with the non-teaching staff. हमारा जो फी उसको इससे वसूल करते हैं, and similarly our exam department that gives them into that, all of them, they know that yes, the student is the one that pays my salary ultimately. And see, like one thing you notice, in all other industries, sort of every industry sort of they know that जब अब तो एक मोबाइल खरीदते हैं, and sort of they know fully well that you have to get a good service.
Right.
तो मोबाइल नहीं खरीदते हैं, जब आप टीवी खरीदते हैं, you must get a good service. Education is the only field I have noticed. ये पैसा जमा करते हैं, इसके बाद ज्यादा बच्चा इसका तो खास इंटरेस्ट नहीं है for the quality of education in so many areas. This is the only sector. क्योंकि because it's not his money, ये पापा का money. And पापा पैसा देते हैं, poor fellow, he thinks that हमको बच्चों को उधर भेजे थे, उसको तो good quality of education must come. So that is an ownership you are building. You are saying that you are not छोटे बच्चे नहीं है, school बच्चे नहीं है, आपके पापा को, because our students that come from Bihar and Jharkhand, let me tell you, they are all coming from middle class families. Because the kind of fees we charge there into the very, very low. We don't charge very high fees. And we take care of, particularly the kind of, the middle class families and lower middle class families. And ये parents they put in their hard earned money into that. इसी की वजह से बच्चे को हम तो ओनरशिप दिलाते हैं. We tell them, I think you must own this thing. The बच्चे आपके पेरेंट इतना पैसा खर्च करके आप ये घर तो सड़क भेज रहे हैं, इसी की वजह से आप तो you should take the responsibility for that. I think that is something to a large extent we were able to successful, I should say. I don't claim that it's 100%. A lot of kind of change we are able to bring into that, and we also focus on character building. I believe that a kind of education kind of institution cannot say हम बच्चे लोग के कुछ लेसन सिखा के कुछ अंक दे दे के डिग्री सर्टिफिकेट दे के मेरा काम खत्म हो गया, वो नहीं कर सकते हैं. It is my job to build the character, because more than the education, the character is the asset of an individual. And when once somebody passes out of the college, nobody will bother about your character, not you, but the student, isn't it? जब इसका तो सड़क चरित्र जो सड़क खराब होते हैं उसको तो ठीक ढंग से वो सड़क बात नहीं करते, ठीक ढंग से काम नहीं करता है, इन दैट केस देन इमीडिएटली दे थ्रो देम आउट. तो इसी के वजह से जब सारा बच्चे लोग होते हैं, देन पेरेंट्स हैव टू टेक केयर ऑफ द कैरेक्टर बिल्डिंग. देन जब स्कूल में होते हैं, स्कूल टीचर करना पड़ेगा. व्हेन दे कम इनटू द हायर एजुकेशन, यूनिवर्सिटी हैज टू टेक केयर ऑफ इट. इट इज हम अपने आप जिम्मेदारी समझ के हम तो करना पड़ेगा. A lot of institutions they don't do that. They say some सिर्फ आपको पढ़ाई करते हैं, बाकी लोग बच्चे लोग करना है, पेरेंट्स करना है. We don't do that. That is the reason why our institutions, if you just notice wherever you take, our motto is grooming professionals. That means grooming our students into successful and competent professionals, with values. हम मानते हैं दोनों चीजें अहम चीज होती हैं. It has to be kind of professionalism, quality of education, skills. वो एक सड़क एक पैर होते हैं. दूसरा पैर होते हैं कैरेक्टर होते हैं, चरित्र होते हैं. इसी की वजह से चरित्र निर्माण में हम अधिक ध्यान देते हैं. And we believe that is a kind of lifelong asset we create for the person. सड़क हो सकता है माहौल होते हैं, फैमिली का बैकग्राउंड होता है. Whatever be the reason, a lot of our students come from the government school. I'm not complaining against the government school, but irrespective of the background where they come, इसका हम तो चरित्र निर्माण करने में हमारा फैकल्टी लोग all of us जुड़े हुए हैं. It's an important part of our the kind of our mission what we take.
Right. तो सर मैंने झारखंड और बिहार की एक मेंटालिटी देखी कि people used to go there और people just want to buy the degree, they just don't want to buy the education. मतलब whatever the means is there, I just don't know. But why so? मतलब what initiative you want to take, right? So that they can take the real education from the institute, from the colleges, not for the sake of degree. They can go to the college and to take their career to a next level.
Yeah. So that's a very good question, Mr. Deepan Raj.
Right.
Like as a university, what we do is. We believe that the students are coming to us, particularly sort of when once they graduate, इसको तो कुछ न कुछ they should get a job or they should get some livelihood out of that, because Bihar, Jharkhand ऐसे kind of राज्य नहीं है. Sort of they can't send most of them, if you leave aside Jamshedpur or maybe one or two pockets, ज़्यादा पेरेंट्स बच्चों लोगों को विलायत भेज के यूएस में पढ़ाई करके करने का इतना sort of ये इसका तो कैपेसिटी इतना ज्यादा नहीं होते हैं. वी अंडरस्टैंड दैट. सो इसी के वजह से like the kind of whatever kind of a graduation that they do, they must be able to get a good job. इसी के वजह से what we do is first thing is like in fact if you notice sort of a more than 90% or most of our programs are vocation oriented or professional programs. माने जब तक ये प्रोग्राम खत्म करते हैं या ग्रेजुएशन होते हैं, आफ्टर दैट इसको कुछ रोजगार मिलने का, रोजगार प्राप्त करने का कुछ ना अवसर होते हैं. आई थिंक दैट इज व्हाट सॉर्ट ऑफ वी ट्राई टू गेट सम अपॉर्चुनिटी देना पड़ेगा. So there a few kind of things what we have done sort of let me tell you. Like in fact particularly the second thing is like there are a few students that are willing to go out of Bihar, Jharkhand. ज्यादा पेरेंट्स होते हैं, ज्यादा लड़के जो होते हैं ना, they don't want to send their girls outside. You are aware, you know Bihar, Jharkhand.
Right, sir, right.
sort of गर्ल्स की शादी भी बहुत जल्दी होती है उधर तो. It's not like into that. हमारे बच्ची kind of कुछ girls they get married when they are doing MBA. Sort of a second year they get married also into that.
Right.
Because of that, they don't want to send them out for the jobs. इसका तो थोड़ा सा traditional families होते हैं. Most of them they prefer they can get jobs locally and get a sort of good job into that. So इसी के वजह से like what we did was when we designed the kind of a program, we kept in mind that yes, they should try and get some jobs, particularly in some of the local kind of areas into that. So because of that, what we do is apart from common programs like a BBA, BCA, BTech, MBA, which are the standard programs, what we do is we analyze the career opportunities that are available locally and come up with some new programs with the USPs, with some unique kind of a features into that. Just to give an example to you, you are aware, being a Jharkhandi, sort of a Jharkhand is a mining belt.
Yeah, mining belt.
A lot of jobs for mining, because even during the COVID times also, let me tell you that sort of a mining jobs have been there. Mining has not stopped at all, and mining is an area which there is going to be lots of opportunities. Sort of very recently, Government of India have taken initiatives with regard to the levelization and various policy measures. Now, a lot of private sector players are coming into the mining. Lot of foreign players are coming. इतना ज़्यादा निवेश होने वाला है mining में. So इसी को लेके I think huge opportunities are there into that mining. And इसको लेके mining is one of the focused areas for our university. And there we are offering a BTech program in mining. We are also offering a diploma program in mining. Particularly if you just something like you take areas like Dhanbad, Katras, Jharia, you go to sort of Bokaro, all those areas, you go to Daltonganj, all these areas, इतने ज़्यादा sort of miners होते हैं, sort of parents, they are working in the mines either as a contractor, miners into that, sort of they don't mind. After 10th class, they say बच्चों को sort of they send to polytechnic. लेकिन sort of उधर झारखंड में क्या होते हैं, इतने बड़े quality polytechnics नहीं है. And let me tell you another thing. Most of the polytechnics in Jharkhand, they don't offer mining. You'll be surprised if you just make an analysis. अब देखिए तो पॉलिटेक्निक में क्या होते हैं, दे मैकेनिकल, इलेक्ट्रिकल, सिविल, इतनी सारी चीज होते हैं, माइनिंग नहीं होती है.
नहीं होती है.
डॉक्टर दे,
राइट.
whether it is government polytechnics or private polytechnic, इतना ज्यादा माइनिंग नहीं होते हैं. When I analyze that, what we do is we have got a polytechnic in mining. Being a kind of a university, we don't want to call it as a polytechnic, we call it as a diploma in technology in mining. What we did was sort of आपको BIT Mishra, you may be knowing. BIT Mishra is a very reputed institution. They started what is called a model polytechnic sometime back. And what they did was, it is quality of the program is as good as a BTech program. And so इसको लेके इसको हम तो बेहतर किए थे. That is why now we call it as a diploma in technology. There we are offering 3 branches. एक तो mining होते हैं, दूसरा mechanical होते हैं, दूसरा computer science होते हैं. But खास तौर से we have got a lot of focus on mining, and we set up the various mining labs like gas testing lab and various things that we set up into that. And we have got excellent faculty members that have come from the kind of a mining. जो CCL में काम करते हैं, sort of retired किए थे, they are there with us. जो DGMS में काम करके sort of सुपर इंजीनियर किए थे, ये हमारे पास है. And बच्चों को we give them internship in all the mining. All of our mining students को हम तो CCL होते हैं, BCCL होते हैं, ECL होते हैं, we send them to the kind of this thing. All of our students they go for internships in the mining. And बच्चे लोग को गैस टेस्टिंग का हम तो तरफीद देते हैं. बच्चों को they have to go through something like called a certificate with regard to the first aid. ये चीज करने के बाद उसको तो DGMS का sort of exam पास कर सकते हैं. After that, do you know something, Deepam ji? When somebody kind of gets a job in mining, इसका तनख्वाह होते हैं 35,000. You tell me today, MBS, do they get that kind of a job? 35,000 होते हैं. साथ ही साथ इसको तो क्वार्टर मिलते हैं, फ्री काइंड ऑफ एनर्जी दिस थिंग, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी मिलती है, एंड कॉस्ट ऑफ लिविंग बहुत कम होते हैं. एंड दिस इज आफ्टर व्हाट, क्लास 10 के बाद 3 साल हम तो डिप्लोमा करते हैं. आफ्टर दैट And isn't it something good what we are doing? And जो बच्चे लोग पास किए थे, we are able to get them after this. What happens is, the DGMS, and there is something called, Bureau of Professional Training under the kind of Industry of Labor that is there. ये बच्चों लोगों को sort of, they take them, we can send them to the industry for that apprenticeship. हमारे सभी लोग बच्चे इंटर्नशिप इसमें गए थे आफ्टर द डिप्लोमा. इनको हर महीना 8,000 तनख्वाह मिलते हैं, इससे कॉल्ड अप्रेंटिसशिप. इसमें sort of, 1 साल होते हैं. 1 साल के बाद, then what I'm telling you, they get that kind of a job. There, let me tell you that mining companies are saying, हमको we need people, students are not there. This is the industry where there is more demand than supply. जो बच्चे लोग आते हैं सभी को sort of जॉब मिलते हैं. And parents are also happy. Parents, they know the kind of mining का माहौल इनको पता है. They know that into that. And today, they बच्चे को sort of parents से ज़्यादा तनख्वाह मिलती है. Parent, sort of maybe he is not qualified, वो class 10 के बाद, sort of कुछ किया था, but otherwise they are qualified मानो diploma किया था. Right. And you take somebody that does a BTech, mining, and when they get into that, do you know something? The kind of the salary what they get is, they get a salary of something like, up to sort of 65,000 rupees they get. And today that is a kind of a salary, a probationary office in State Bank of India will not get. And that is something, we put a lot of focus and doing a lot of work onto that. Mm-hmm. And the second thing, let me tell you, this is just one example I am telling you what is the university where we have taken the initiative and ये बच्चों को sort of हम तो कामयाबी बनाए थे. Then the second kind of a program, and this thing let me tell you, see, झारखंड बिहार में इतने ज्यादा sort of बच्चे बीकॉम करते हैं. जब हम एनालाइज किए थे, BA and BCom are the program. And BA program, of course, I don't want to make comments. जो BA करते हैं, जो what you call, हिंदी में BA करते हैं, BA में sort of ज्योग्राफी करते हैं, मुझे पता नहीं क्या करेगा. लेकिन हम तो BCom program को लेके what we noticed was most of these kind of BCom graduates after they complete, इसको तो job नहीं मिलता है, इधर उधर भटकते रहते हैं. And after that they go for some training here. Into that I have seen students, वो तो बेकार पढ़ते हैं कम से कम 5 साल 6 साल तक. इसके बाद they go for a very menial job. इसको लेके what we did was we have designed a BCom kind of honors program with a focus on banking and financial services. वो प्रोग्राम कहलाता है BCom honors and banking and financial service. So because of that, good jobs are there in banking and financial services.
Nice initiative, sir. Nice initiative.
Taken that time, lot of banking jobs are there. Private sector jobs are there. Private sector. You still private sector, like private sector ka. If you take Axis Bank, you take Kotak Mahindra, they are opening branches in Bihar and Jharkhand. They are not opening branches, in Delhi and Hyderabad or Bangalore, because it is underserviced. They are looking for local people. So इसी के वजह से BCom program हम तो जो sort of हम तो start किए थे. That is a focus on banking and kind of finance. Do you know something? There, all the subjects are focused on the banking and financial services. The visiting faculty for this, they come from the bank. Another thing, ours is the only BCom program in the entire country where it is internship. अब देख लीजिए, MBA में internship होते हैं, BTech में internship होते हैं, बाकी प्रोग्राम में, BCom प्रोग्राम में, तो देश भर में और कोई यूनिवर्सिटी में internship नहीं होती है. Isn't it? मुझे बताइए, दिल्ली में is there a BCom program, where there is an internship? नहीं होते हैं.
No.
Ours is the only university that the internship is compulsory for every summer. हम तो बैंक में भेजते हैं. And we tie up into that. In the financial service में भेजते हैं. The reason for that is, when once somebody completes BCom, after that, इसको तो banking और commerce का knowledge होना चाहिए. साथ ही साथ you must get hands-on skills होना चाहिए. That is what a bank wants into that. And because of that, the students that complete our BCom, they get campus placements. Take it from me. There is practically no other college or university where somebody can say BCom के बाद campus placement मिलते हैं. अरे आपको MBA के बाद भी campus placement नहीं मिलते हैं यार. बीटेक के बाद नहीं मिलते हैं। अब तो बीकॉम का क्या सड़फ है, सवाल ही नहीं उठता ना। Whereas our BCom students, they get jobs. They get jobs, you know. If they get a job, a local job or something like, मान लीजिए उसको तो 25,000 30,000 का जॉब मिलेगा बीकॉम के बाद। Is it not good? Isn't it? Don't you think so, Deepam ji?
Right, sir, right. This is not good.
25,000 हैं, 28,000 का उसको तो महीना सड़फ जॉब मिलते हैं लोकल, लाइक he does the kind of, उसको तो सड़फ जॉब पोस्टिंग होते हैं, हजारीबाग होते हैं, दुमका होते हैं, देवघर होते हैं। तो 25,000 इज ए गुड सैलरी देयर, isn't it, in देवघर, isn't it?
सर, और एजुकेशन सिस्टम का एक प्रॉब्लम और ये भी है ना कि जब हम लोग अपनी पढ़ाई को स्टार्ट करते हैं,
जस्ट अ मिनट, आई जस्ट गिव ओनली वन मोर एग्जांपल इनटू दैट। थर्ड थिंग हम जो देख लिए थे, there are a lot of working professionals that are there, sort of they want to do higher education, and इसके पहले क्या होता था, they had to go for a distance education. Distance education में क्या होते हैं, ज्यादा क्वालिटी नहीं होते हैं। सेकंड थिंग इज, जब आप तो स्किल्स हम तो बिल्ड करना चाहते हैं, डिस्टेंस एजुकेशन कैन गिव ओनली नॉलेज, स्किल्स बिल्ड नहीं कर सकते। इसी के वजह से व्हेन वी सॉ ए गुड अपॉर्चुनिटी, वी ऑफर द रेगुलर प्रोग्राम्स। They are not in distance program, they are not part-time programs, regular programs for the working professionals. MBA program होते हैं, इसका क्लासेस होते हैं, सुबह में होते हैं, शाम को होते हैं, लेकिन हर दिन होते हैं। इसको तो संडे क्लासेस होते हैं, and it's a full-time program into that. हमारे पास we have got a MBA program, we have got a LLB program, and like we also have got a PhD program for the working professionals, which is a part-time program. In the beginning, you are saying that, सर इधर से बिहार झारखंड से सभी बच्चे लोग बाहर जाते हैं। Our PhD program is considered to be one of the best programs in the country. Because of that, students come from आपको दिल्ली से, जम्मू एंड कश्मीर से, चंडीगढ़ से, बैंगलोर से सभी लोग आके रांची में PhD करते हैं। This is a program where, like, in fact, when you talk of something like PhD program in management part-time, first thing that comes to the mind is the University of Jharkhand. There, the people that are working in IBM, Microsoft, Ernst & Young, Accenture, HDFC Bank, Infosys, TCS, name it. The people that are working there, they come and do this because it's a quality program into that. And within a short time, we have produced 28, kind of a very good PhD. They do kind of a PhD in the areas of relevance there into that. Just only one more thing before we go to the next one. बिहार झारखंड में क्या होते हैं, भाई पेरेंट्स का होते हैं, बच्चों का होते हैं, इसका फैंसी होते हैं सरकारी जॉब। हाँ क्या ना, सरकारी जॉब छोटी मोटी जॉब होते हैं, दे लोग सर दे इतना खुश होते हैं, isn't it? They think that is much better than even sort of a BTech and MBA का into that.
Better than that of private jobs.
Yeah, not only lack of this thing, because there जो जिसको sort of दौरी मिलते हैं ना, जो सरकारी जॉब होते हैं दौरी ज्यादा मिलते हैं। इसकी वजह से this year what we did was we started a new program called a BA program with a focus on sociology, political science and public administration. जब एक प्रोग्राम खत्म करते हैं ना, when they graduate, it's easy for them to prepare for civils. You go to Patna and you go to kind of come to Ranchi. अरे इतने सारे कोचिंग सेंटर्स होते हैं ना सिविल्स के वास्ते, isn't it? Because you don't see इतना sort of a fancy and craze for kind of a civils anywhere else in the world, anywhere else in India into that. इसको लेके we started this program, this what you call only for the current year into that. What I'm telling you is, like when you're asking, what are your strategies with regard to the program, these programs have to be specific to our region. Because ऐसे प्रोग्राम हम तो सड़क है हैदराबाद में, बैंगलोर में चलाएंगे तो इतना टेकस नहीं होते हैं। बैंगलोर वाले, हैदराबाद वाले, दिल्ली वाले सर इतना सरकारी जॉब में जाते हैं नहीं जाते हैं। दे गो फॉर ए कंप्यूटर जॉब, isn't it? IT जॉब में जाते हैं, isn't it?
Right.
This is something looking at the kind of environment जो माहौल सारा बिहार झारखंड में देखिए हम तो सारा शुरुआत किया।